Hey guys, it's Chris and I'm back here with another lesson on my channel for you. This week I want to focus on caged theory. Caged theory is a pretty basic concept, but it's a very complex idea. And what caged theory is it's literally a discussion on 5 different shapes that you play on the guitar. Now when I say shape, it means that the particular pattern in which you put your fingers on the fretboard and on the strings. So the first shape of the caged theory is the C chord, and it progresses as the word caged is spelled out. So you learn 5 different shapes. You learn the C shape, you learn the A shape, you learn the G shape, the E shape, and then you learn the D shape. So those are the 5 different shapes that are important for you to learn in the caged system. The reason it's important to learn the caged system is because with those 5 shapes, it gives you an idea of how and where you can play notes all over the fretboard. If you learn the caged theory and you learn how to bar it, then you know how to play up and down the entire neck of the guitar. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to teach you how to play the 5 different chords. I'm going to teach you how to bar them and teach you the significance of each individual chord that you're barring. Now, you've probably been wondering about this barring word that I've been saying at this point. Barring literally means that with your finger you're going to create a bar over the fretboard. Now, the reason you would need to do this is if you've ever seen someone playing a guitar, you may have noticed that they use a device on it that just slaps right over one of the frets, kind of like this. And that device is called a capo. And that just moves your open position to a different area of the guitar. It's almost like if I was to cut the fretboard right here and then put the headstock right here, then I would start here. So normally when I play a G shape, I play it in from the 1st fret like this. So if I was to take a capo and put it here, then I would play 1 up from there and I would play it like this. Okay? Now you probably notice that that doesn't sound good, and the reason is because when we're playing this, there are strings that I am playing and I am not pressing down on the fretboard. So in particular, this chord is called an open chord. And the reason it's called an open chord is because though I'm pressing down on it, there are open strings that I am also playing. So when someone says, I want you to play an open C chord, you go, okay, I'm going to play the C chord down here in its 1st position. And the reason you play it down there with open, again, is because you are playing open strings. So those are the key words that you'll kind of hear here with the caged theory. You'll hear the bar chord, and what that means is that you're playing a shape like the C, but if you wanted to move it up, then you have to bar your finger on the fretboard. And then you can keep moving it up, barring your finger, so that you can keep the same shape, which is where you're pressing your fingers on the neck, and then move it up to get different chords. So those are the key parts that you'll be interested in understanding for the caged theory lesson. You'll want to know barring, which means using your finger almost like a capo in order to move the position, in order to move the shape. And then the shape is how your fingers are formed down into patterns that you press and play on the guitar. So with that in mind, if you have any questions on that, or how I'm explaining it doesn't make any sense to you, or it's a little difficult to perceive, feel free to comment on the video below or send me a message. I'll go into more detail. I'll even make another video that focuses more on that particular item. So with that in mind, you should understand now that there is barring in order for you to move the shape, and there are open chords. Those are the important things to understand when I'm talking about caged theory. So in playing cage theory, there are 5 chords, as I told you about, and that's the point of the cage theory, is to learn those 5 chords, learn those 5 shapes, and then learn how to move those on the neck in order to play them in different areas and create different sounds. So really what I want to focus on here, now that I've explained the different parameters for this, is I want you to be able to understand how to make the 5 different shapes. So with the first one, we're just going to go in the order as the word is spelled. So to make our C shape, we're going to start with an open C chord. Now again, I'm using that open word, which means we're going to play it with open strings. So when we're playing an open C chord, we're going to start with an open high E. Okay, we're going to press down on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, which is your B. And then we're going to leave this next string open as well, which is your G. And then the 4th string in, we're going to press down on the 2nd fret. And then the 5th string in, we're going to press down on the 3rd fret. And for this open C chord, we do not play the 6th note. So right here, you just strum all 5 of these 6 strings, from 5 all the way down to 1. And that gives you your open C chord. So that's what I want you to focus on for now, is making that shape of an open C chord and then strumming each string individually so that you get every single note to ring out cleanly. So that's what your open C should sound like. Once you've done that, go ahead and move on to this next one, which is the A chord. So the A chord is probably one of the easier ones to play, though it can be a little difficult, because for this particular one, all of your fingers live on one fret. So you're going to go ahead and play 5 out of 6 strings again, but you're going to all be jammed in on this 2nd fret here. So what you do is, for your 5th string, you leave it open, which is your A. And then your 4th string, you press your index finger down on the 2nd fret. Your middle finger on your 3rd string down on the 2nd fret. And then your 2nd string, your 3rd finger, which is your ring finger, pushes down on the 2nd fret. And then you leave your high E open again. So again, strum each individual note to make sure they ring out cleanly. And then once you've got that nice and clean, strum it all together to get your open A. So after you've learned how to create that shape, as I've shown you there, you want to move on to making a G shape now. So we're going to move on to the open G chord. You know, people do it a couple different ways. Most people will commonly use 4 fingers. Or 3 fingers. And those are the way I've seen it done. You can really do whatever you want there. The notes are in the proper key. So for this video, let's just use 3 fingers. So right now we're going to play the open G chord. And that starts by using your middle finger on your low E on the 3rd fret. And then you move down with your index finger to the 2nd fret on your 5th string. And then the only other string you're pressing down on is your high E, and you're going to press down with your pinky on the 3rd fret. So then you play your open G chord by strumming all 6 strings. And that's what that sounds like to play your open G. So get familiar with being able to pick each note individually again, same as we've been doing. Once you got that clean note, go ahead and play all 6 together. So from there, we know how to play 3 different open chords of the CAGED theory now. Now I'm going to teach you the last 2, and it's really just, it's repeating the same idea, but we're learning the different fingerings. So for here, in order to play an open E chord, you want to play all 6 notes, or all 6 strings again. But the first one we're going to press on is the 5th string on the 2nd fret. And then on our 4th string on the 2nd fret. And and then on the third string we're going to press down on our first fret. So those are the only 3 that we're pressing on. The rest of these 6 strings are going to be open. So again, pick each individual string so you make sure all your notes are clear, and then you strum them all together to get that open E chord. So from there you should be able to play 4 out of 5, and I'm going to go ahead and teach you the last one now, which is your open D chord. So when you're playing an open D chord, you're only playing 4 strings for this. You're going to play your 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. Now on your 4th string here, it's open because it's already your D string. And then on your 3rd string here, your G string, you want to press down on the 2nd fret. And then on your B string, you want to press down on the 3rd fret. And then on your high E, you want to press down on the 2nd fret. So once you've got all of those together, go ahead and strum each individual note again. And once you've got those all ringing out clearly, go ahead and strum it together for your open D chord. So now you know how to play all 5 of the different shapes and all 5 of the different chords in the CAGED theory. Again, they're all open chords, which means we're playing them with open strings. And from there, we're going to learn how to bar them to play them in different positions, which is going to expand the range in which you can play these chords on the neck of the guitar. Right now, I just want you to focus on making the shapes and then interchanging between them very smoothly. So you want to go C, so that's what I want you to practice right now, is just being able to make those shapes. And once you can make all 5 of those shapes, make sure all your notes ring out cleanly and make sure that you can play them comfortably. By now, you should have figured out how to become dexterous on your guitar. Therefore, if you watch the other lessons, you got comfortable with moving your fingers around the neck and around the different frets. And this should make it very comfortable for you to learn how to manipulate your fingers around in different patterns on the guitar. This will take some time. It's not going to be easy, but it is absolutely worth it because it's going to teach you all the different positions and the proper notes that you can play in the proper keys. So go ahead, stop the video now, learn how to play these different chord shapes, and once you've got them all down cleanly, stay tuned in for my next video, and I'm going to take 5 more lessons to teach you about the different positions and the arpeggios associated with them. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and please message me, whether it's on my Facebook or on the YouTube. Go ahead and comment accordingly, and if you have any questions at all that you feel I didn't answer properly here, if you feel I didn't explain something, please let me know. I'll be willing to give you some extra credit on that. That way we can get that settled out for you. I know this is kind of a long video, but it's definitely something you can't explain in 5 or 6 minutes. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll make another video to tie in with this. So stay tuned for next week, and we'll go into the C chord in more depth. Thanks and take care.